Hey everyone, well, summer's over and autumn's here. Look, February flies through, 28 days always catches up to you. So we're in March and I did film a video about 8 days ago at the end of February, but I found myself being a bit negative. So look, I wanted to step it up a little bit. I deleted that, well I haven't deleted it, but I've left it in the background and here's my latest market update. So we are seeing a lot of the properties that came onto the market late last year starting to sell now. You know, the buyers have come back as of January and we're starting to see multiple offers on most new listings. The older listings are starting to sell. Some agents are still overpricing and dropping price week on week on week on week, which for me, you know, I couldn't do that to someone. I just feel really, really bad. You know, giving someone this hope and dream and then just shooting them down, down, down. So look, it still does happen. At the end of the day, as an agent, we can get it wrong. When you're talking a $2 million property, being wrong by 10% is $200,000. When you're talking 10% at $1 million, it's obviously $100,000. So it's a big slab of cash, but it's easy to be 10% wrong at times. Now, I try and be probably, you know, the maximum I want to be wrong is about 5%. However, there are some times where you miss certain things, you know, where you might not see a home reno job versus a builder's job and things like that. So you're not always right as an agent, but at the same time, there's this whole thing about agents telling owners way too much and then just forcing them to sell. There's no one that can be forced to sell, but at the same time, it sort of comes across like that. So look, what's been going on? These properties are selling, new properties hitting the market, but there's less of them hitting the market. So as we hit this April Easter period, Easter, Anzac Day, school holidays, we'll probably see a big lull. I remember 2019, 2020, we saw a big lull of properties hitting the market. A lot weren't selling or they were coming on too high and then taking months to sell because either the owner wanted too much or the agent told them too much. I think the same thing's going to happen up until August, and I think that's going to keep the Brisbane house prices fairly well stabilised, if not pushed back up, possibly up to that 5%. 2019 it dropped 5% in the middle on the back of the Banking Royal Commission, and 2020 it dropped 5% on the back of the COVID, you know, coming sort of thing. So I think we've dropped back obviously much more dramatically, probably closer to 10 to 15% in some cases, but we're probably going to pick back up 5% by the end of the year. Brisbane is still undervalued compared to Melbourne and Sydney, but we are back between the standard deviation in 2023. So look, we will find with rental prices going up, they've gone up about 12% in Brisbane in the last 12 months. So we will see people start weighing up the fact that, do we get a mortgage that's probably paying an extra $300 a week or take the extra $100 a week in rent, you know, and they'll start equaling out. So we will start seeing some tough decisions. Probably the biggest factor is that people's borrowing capacity has taken a big hit. It's probably dropped 25 to 30%, but the trouble is the house prices have only come back 10 to 15%. So these people are now having to look elsewhere for houses. So rather than buying in Wavell, they're buying in Geebung. Rather than buying in Geebung, they're buying in Boondall or Zilmere, and so on and so forth. So there's always buyers there, but with less stock, you know, everything should be selling again. It's just that we'll find the same thing that happened in 2019, 2020. We tend to get the buyers get a bit fussy, you know, over small things because they think they're in a buyer's market. And to be fair, it is more of a buyer's market, but at the same time, it's up to the sellers if they want to sell or not. One thing we have seen slow down immensely is land sales. We have a lot of land on the market, not us specifically, but land in general. They're not selling fast. Now, it's because people are scared of builders. Even the flat blocks now are taking a little bit longer to sell. It's not terrible or anything like that. It just means that the sellers of the block are tending to be a little bit more patient. They obviously know what they've got invested in the block of land and what they are looking to get out of it. As an agent, you try and prepare people for what they might expect, you know, offers coming in or also interest. And you also got to show them what people are also going to be looking at to compare theirs. So I've got a few sloping blocks, a few with step downs, a few with retaining needed, but I've also got a couple of flat blocks, which are attracting a lot of interest. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time before people start realizing that all the trades are getting cheaper. I've already heard roofers and concreters are getting a bit cheaper now. Next will be brickies and so on and so forth. So eventually, you know, the labor costs are coming down. So eventually building costs will come down a little bit, although with all these big guys going bust, you know, I think PBS went bust the other day. All the subbies are going to be chasing work. So there will be a bit of an influx of people looking for work, which means that, you know, hopefully these build costs will come down, and therefore the people that are actually buying the land now will actually be getting a head start on the people that want to build in sort of 12 to 18 months. Happens all the time. It's ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. So look, if you want to have a chat about selling your property or you want to have a chat about buying, I've set up an active buyers group and I've got my weekly Ninja and a Blazer email. So sign up to those and we can have a chat anytime you want. Thank you.